Hello and welcome back. In this video, I just want to quickly show you some of the attacks that are common by black hat hackers. Now, we're going to cover two of the most common types of the attacks. The phishing attack, where the target is pretty much tricked into submitting their private information into a fake web page. And we're going to cover how a black hat hacker can infect a target with Trojan. Now, Trojans and malware is something that we will talk about in more details in the next lecture, but here we will just showcase the most simple example of it. Okay, let's start off with the phishing attack first. So what I currently have on my screen is a virtual machine. If you're coming from my ethical hacking course, you're more than familiar with all of the tools that we will cover and an operating system that is specifically made for ethical hackers and penetration testers. The reason is because it comes already with many tools pre-installed that hackers use, and it pretty much makes our life easier. Nonetheless, more about this later on. For now, let's just show the attacks real quick. So what I'm going to do to run the most simple phishing attack is I'm going to use a tool. All I have to do, and you will notice how easy this is, so pretty much anyone with a little bit of knowledge can do this, which makes it even more dangerous. All I have to do to run this tool is to type this command: sudo bash and then the tool name. And that's about it. Now, what I have to choose from is these websites right here. And what this tool will do is whichever website I choose out of all of these 37 options, is it will create a fake page that will look almost identical to the real page. That way the target won't really notice the difference and they might submit their username and password into our fake page. Let's go with Instagram. So what I have to do is I have to type number 1 since it's tagged number 1, press enter, and just wait for this tool to set everything up. Once the tool sets everything up, there are two ways that we can access this fake page. We can use the link generated by ngrok and send it to our target. And we can also go and visit the link on our localhost. If I type localhost, it will load the page, or should I say the fake Instagram page, where it will prompt the user for specifying their email address and the password. As you may notice, this does look pretty legit if you look at the page itself, but what we can notice is that the link is kind of different. And this is number one thing that you should take a look at whenever you're entering your private information anywhere. Check whether the link is from the original website and that it is not a phishing link. This is usually the number one thing that gives away phishing attacks. Okay, let's say the target didn't notice that this is a phishing link, the phishing website, and they specified the username, let's say test@gmail.com. And the password, let's say the password is 123456, just for the purposes of this lecture. They click on login, don't save, the page will load. Back here in our terminal, you will notice that we actually got the account name and the password. So now we successfully stole this person's details, their username and their password. And the funniest thing is that the target might not even notice, because right now it loaded the official Instagram page right after they typed their credentials. The phishing page was made so that whenever they type in their credentials, it will automatically redirect them to the real page, as we can see right here by the link, where they might think right now that they perhaps typed something incorrectly. Perhaps they typed the password incorrectly, therefore it's asking them to log in again. Then they will log in again. This time it will work and they will not think about this anymore. Now, do you see how easy this can get? And as you saw, it's not really hard to do. All you need to know is to download this tool, run it, and pretty much you're set to run a phishing attack. Now, of course, this is one of the most simple phishing attacks, but it can still trick some users. These phishing attacks can get much more complex and harder to notice, but for the purposes of this tutorial, we just want to show how they look like.
Your goal as a cybersecurity expert is to overpower the black hat hackers and prevent their attacks. So that's why companies all over the world are hiring cybersecurity experts. They need you. This course starts with the fundamentals of cybersecurity and vulnerabilities, which will be the origin of your superhero story. We then dive deep into advanced topics, including endpoint security, network security, online anonymity and privacy, and even case studies of some of the biggest, scariest hacks in history. And you're going to learn how to use all the practical tools as well, from monitoring software to antivirus and firewalls. Cybersecurity is an extremely in-demand skill, and this course is going to teach you it all. That means there's a lot for you to learn.
This course, I'm going to teach you ethical hacking from scratch. So we'll start by teaching you how to set up a penetration testing lab and how to install the needed software so you can practice hacking safely. Once done, the course is divided into 4 main penetration testing sections. The first is the network hacking section, where you'll learn how networks work, how devices communicate with each other, and how to exploit this method of communication to control all the connections around you, crack Wi-Fi keys and gain access to Wi-Fi networks, whether they use web, WPA or WPA2, and intercept data to capture usernames, passwords, chat messages, or anything that anybody does on the same network. Once done with this, we'll move to the gaining access section, where you'll learn how to gain access to servers and personal computers. So first, you'll learn how to gather comprehensive information about your target, discover vulnerabilities, and exploit them to gain full control over the target system. Not only that, but you'll also learn how to generate undetectable backdoors and use social engineering to deliver them to your target as a fake update or as a PDF or an image or any other file that they might be interested in. You'll also learn how to spoof emails, so when they're delivered to your target, they appear as if they're sent from a friend, from their boss, or from any address that they're likely to interact with. Once done with all of this, we'll move to the post-exploitation section, where you'll learn what can you do with the access that you gained in the previous sections. So you'll learn how to interact with the file system, how to execute system commands, record keystrokes, open the webcam, and even use the hacked computer as a pivot to hack into other computers. Once done with all of this, we'll move to the website hacking section, where you'll learn how websites work, how to gather comprehensive information about a target website, and how to discover and exploit a number of dangerous vulnerabilities that allow you to gain full control over the target website. At the end of each section, you'll learn how to secure systems and secure yourself from the discussed attacks.